Hi there, I'm Christopher Heath. You're watching WFTV's Law Talk.
Legal cases, legal issues, legal matters. You're watching WFTV's Law Talk, brought courtesy of the Personal Injury and Accident Division of NeJame Law.
All right, let's talk about some of the current cases, issues, and legal matters that our viewers are talking about. Joining me today is Mark NeJame of the NeJame Law Firm, and Albert Yanfa, a partner at NeJame Law in the Personal Injury Division. Florida has become, in the last several years, really a go-to place for bikers from all across the country. A lot of bikers live here in Florida, but a lot come from out of state. And motorcycle accidents are just something that we see a lot of when you get this many motorcycles in an area. Again, they can be catastrophic, just given the fact of you don't have as much metal around you. Tell me about what people need to know about motorcycle accidents.
Well, the first question and the biggest thing that most people address are the helmets. Well, Florida, because of the strength of the biker community, the motorcycle enthusiasts, no longer has a helmet requirement. Now, that might give people the personal freedom to go out there, and it's part of the reason we have so many people riding motorcycles. We have this beautiful weather, you have the openness, you have your freedom, but you also have your head crushed in much of the time. I was witness to a motorcycle accident where somebody didn't see the motorcyclist, which is often the case because they often are not given the respect on the road that a larger vehicle is given. And I saw that person fly in the air and land and died. And that was one, independent of the cases that we handle, that was one I just personally saw. It's horrific, and nothing that could have been done by that person because another car just simply ran a red light and hit them. Well, because there are no helmet laws in Florida, you are not required, so it cannot be used against you if, in fact, you get into an accident and are not wearing your helmet, where your injuries are going to be far more catastrophic if you have a head injury. The trouble with that is the insurance company knows that. Imagine you're in front of a jury, and the defense lawyer for the insurance company is saying, well, they weren't wearing a helmet. If they were wearing a helmet, they might have been able to prevent this. Even though you're not required to, you can consider it's going to be used against you. And so, accordingly, we recommend people wear their helmets. If they're not, they're legally not required to, but you can understand that in the back of the insurance company's mind and their attorney, it's going to be used against you. And there's several other issues that that need to be addressed when it comes to motorcyclists.
Yeah, and Albert, this is really kind of two sides of the coin. It is motorcyclists being aware of the cars around them, and cars being aware of motorcyclists, because once again, it's an unfair situation if and when there is an accident.
100% right. Ultimately, motorcycles are hard to be seen. They're just very difficult to spot. But that doesn't mean that there's things that motorcyclists can't do to protect themselves. You know, the data shows that this past year was the second deadliest in the past 20 years for motorcycle deaths in Florida. And what we're seeing is a disproportionate amount of those fatalities are between riders between the ages of 20 and 29 years old and on the weekends. So what you're seeing is motorcyclists who are less experienced who are having these more fatal collisions. Now, to what Mark said about the helmets, those older and more experienced motorcyclists are not off the hook either. We see that 100% of the fatalities of riders who are over 65, they weren't wearing their helmet. There's a certain overconfidence that they may have, or years of experience of riding bicycles, say, you know what, I don't want to wear my helmet. So it does cut both ways.
From a legal perspective, though, this is one of those issues where if you're a motorcyclist, you're going to have to go in and basically say, if I was involved in an accident, was I behaving correctly? Was I, swerving in and out of lanes? Or did the car not see me? And this is where, you get into, after the accident, reconstructing things and knowing what happened and what was the chain of events.
Well, you raise an excellent point, Chris. Like any other vehicular accident, you want to get the evidence early. Witnesses, video cameras to make sure that those are preserved, documenting the injuries, documenting who might be around. All those are critical, and when you are the victim of an accident, you're not conscious to be able to do that a lot of times. So that's why it's critical that you get to your attorney or you get your family member to get to an attorney quickly so they can go look at the skid marks. They can go look at the weather, what the weather was. They can go out and look for where there might be cameras around so they can get that information and have it preserved for your case. Motorcycle accidents are so dangerous and the recoveries can be so large because the medical expenses can be so large that people really need to understand. They need to jump on the matter not take it for granted. And even if you're only slightly hurt, you've got what you might think is a road rash or road burn, you never know. So go in there, get your medical treatment, and follow up on that treatment, because if you don't follow up on your treatment, you also run the risk of losing your claim.
All right, Albert, I appreciate your time. Mark, as always, thank you guys both for being here and giving us some of your legal expertise. And thank you for joining us today. To watch this or any other law talks, visit our website at wftv.com/legal or join us each week right here on Facebook. I'm Christopher Heath. Thanks for watching.
WFTV's Law Talk was brought courtesy of the Personal Injury and Accident Division of NeJame Law.